gon' tune in cause the showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap food rhyme, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
But moving into our last topic of the day, we're heading into business tech officially.
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 That was business light, what we just did.
What we did was business light, diet business tech. Now we in
business
business
zero.
We was in business tech zero. Now we in business tech all sugar. All sugar, all artificial flavors.
Corn syrup. Overdose corn syrup.
But so, I don't know if everybody's seen, but the Apple Vision Pro, I can't remember what episode we discussed it on, but it was last year, has now been officially released to consumers. And the news came out that Ready Player One is to be turned into a massive metaverse experience in partnership with Warner Bros. Discovery. Now, the article said Futureverse, an AI and metaverse technology and content company, announced the formation of Readyverse Studios, a studio co-founded with Ernest Cline, the novelist and creator of Ready Player One, and Dan Farah, producer of the 2018 Warner Bros. Film adaptation of the novel. Details on what the Ready Player One metaverse will are sparse from now, but the company says that they expect it to launch sometime in 2024. So we're going back to our favorite topic of the year. Is this the future?
Listen, bro. Yes. That's the easy answer. Yes, but I've been watching Shangri-La Frontier, and you know what? The player lays down in his bed, puts on his VR headset, and lays down. And now we got folks with VRs driving their cars on buses and everything. And I'm like, wow, we're here. We're here. We're it's almost there. Once it gets to the point where it can trick your senses to where your brain is inside of the game, we got about 10 to 15 years. We're only 27. We're going to be in VR worlds by age 40, bro. We have lived long enough to see it, bro. We here.
I am curious to see what the Ready Player One universe would look like, because if you have seen the Ready Player One movie,
amazing movie, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a pop culture type world. Like, you remember at the end when like people were showing up as Ninja Turtles and they showed up as Master Chief as Halo. When I was reading the article, they said that the Readyverse is going to have like IP based areas. So I wonder if it's like an escape, which is what Ready Player One was. But I wonder if it's more for like entertainment purposes and not for like what we think it is. Like, you could just hop in there and live in it.
Hey, yo, maybe that's why Microsoft is going multiplat. We finna have all these universes they created in this new little Readyverse.
They might, if they make a deal. If they make a deal with, do you see them making a deal with Warner Brothers though?
Yes. Here's my thing. Because I see exactly where you're going. This may not be nearly what we expect it to be.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's fine though, because we still gotta start somewhere.
And
once we get to a point where we even got little games where we're walking around, it's like, remember when the Mii's came out with the Nintendo Wii?
Mm-hmm.
If we in this Readyverse and we're Mii's walking around, even if all we can do is wave and say hi and then go play iMessage games,
mm-hmm.
that is still a great start. Because what is it going to look like in 5 years? Then 10 years? Then 15 years, and now it's affordable to the middle class public because you can buy a Readyverse system or the Apple Vision Pro or some other proprietary tool that does the same thing for less than $1,000. Once we get there, once we start here, bro, the options are limitless.
And that's where I was getting at. That I don't think this Readyverse, it's a start, but I don't think it's actually what we think it is. Like, this is a hop in and you can be in here for hours. Like, kind of what Meta was selling their metaverse thing to be.
Mm-hmm.
How they were showing like demos of somebody walking into a VR Walmart and purchasing items. And then they, they come out of the metaverse and they actually have these items at their doorstep. I don't think that's what this Ready Player One thing is supposed to be. But like you said, it's a start. And it
Mm-hmm.
could be. And then it just grows. And then if we want to talk about the Apple Vision Pro, the Apple Vision Pro is more like, and to me it's more AR than VR.
It's a mix of both, because you can, when you turn on the dial, you can make it to where you become fully immersed, and it's as if you're in another space.
Okay. But the way, I guess, I will say from how I've seen people using it,
Yeah.
is I was seeing more of the AR aspect than the VR aspect.
But and that's the thing. That's probably the beauty of the technology. Having both of those technologies in one allows for both of them to grow. Because, like, what happens when, yeah, we can get a VR space and go to Walmart and go shopping, or go to Amazon and put it in front of us. But what also happens when, if this helmet can switch to AR mode, we're in a physical Walmart. Hey, show me my house
Well, what I've been
and let me
hearing,
place this in there and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. And I wanted to bring this up too, because maybe this just might turn into the next iteration of the Apple Vision Pro. Even though we are seeing videos of people driving their cars, we've seen the video of the guy on the subway station. Apple specifically said that you are not supposed to use the Apple Vision Pro in those type of settings. Like, it wasn't made for that. And
Mm-hmm.
it went even further, that the people who were using it in those settings said that the screens weren't like in focus, like in the demo, or wasn't in focus as it would have been had they just been playing with the system in their house. But that's not to say that the next iteration of the Apple Vision Pro won't allow them to do that. So then it's going into what you were just saying.
And it's like, bro, you also got to look at how all this technology is evolving, because this is the fun stuff. Look at how all of this is evolving. We already got bending plastics and bending glass on some of these foldable phones. The Apple Vision Pro, here's the few obstacles it got to overcome: having a long-lasting battery,
That
having a camera that can deal with high motions, because it's like 9 or 10 sensors and cameras just in the front.
and they
So
got to
when
be
you're
smaller.
driving, exactly. The reason some stuff may be fuzzy is because it's trying to take in all that technology, all of those image, and process those images, show them to you in your eyes, and then it's also tracking your eyes, and it
Hmm.
has to do this in nanoseconds.
And
The more,
we said this on the last
mm-hmm,
episode too, because you remember we brought up the fact that it's 2 computer chips inside of it. First thing they got to
mm-hmm,
do, and I think you said this, the first thing they got to do is get that to 1 chip. Then they got to figure out how to make that joint smaller.
exactly. Once it can get to the point where this Apple Vision Pro can do what it does and even better, but it's no bigger than ski goggles, then it can drop down to like probably the size of like those glasses you get from the eye doctor when your eyes are dilated,
Hmm.
and then probably to the size of aviators. Then we've made it. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then while all of the
Them Spy
hardware is
Kid,
evolving,
remember them Spy Kid glasses?
that's what I'm talking about. And once the hardware evolves, here's the thing: we can't miss out on the fact that the software is already evolving. Metaverse existed; it just didn't get as much investment because it didn't. The hardware wasn't there to match it.
Hmm.
But the software is going to continue to evolve. Did you see what I sent in the Instagram group chat where Disney
About the
was working on a
moving,
movable floor?
yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're basically like an animated, I don't know what you call that space, where you can go in every direction. It's omnidirectional, but you're not actually moving. Once VR headsets, AR headsets evolve, the hardware, the software, we're going to be in Ready Player One in like 15 years, bro. Probably 20.
I'd be curious to see, because what all of this, and you hit the nail on the head. What all of this sounds like right now is it's the fun stuff. It's the entertainment aspect of it. So what's gonna happen in the next 5-10 years when we're like, okay, let's start putting some of these lifestyle, I'm gonna call them lifestyle aspects. Like, can I hop in VR and walk to Wells Fargo and handle the business I got to do. We'll go back to the Walmart situation. Is that actually going to be a reliable thing to do where I can just, VR shop? I don't even have to step in the store.
Because it's better than shopping online. Now I can see how it looks. Let me see how it how heavy is it? How does it compare to my body when I try on clothes? If the headset scans my body, now I can go to Macy's, because it's going to be the big retailers that jump on board, not the small ones. Target and all of them. When I want to, they got these plants in stores. Let me see it from every angle in my actual house with my VR headset on.
And Amazon has something like that where you have to do it from your phone, but like I could see it being
evolving even more than that.
I can see it being easier in the fact that with the headset, it has if we're going back into the cameras, of how they have that view of like the whole area. Because you could get so much into the phone screen, but if you had that 360 view, like, yeah.
And I think we talked about in the last episode, and I know these conversations came up again in some of the reviews I've seen, like MKBHD and all of them, but like having all those cameras at these big NFL, NBA, football league, and all of these different games, like the cameras in those games have evolved so much. But now what happens when you got an ESPN package where you purchase it with your VR headset? You can watch the game from any angle like you're actually there. They got cameras now where it's like you can track the baseball, track the basketball, track the football while it's being flown, getting in there right next to the own line and defensive line in a football game. Now apply that to an Apple Vision headset. You see what I'm saying? Once the apps get enhanced. I saw someone where it was a concept, I don't think it was legit, where they was watching, I think it was an F1 race, kind of like NASCAR and all that, but like the Italian leagues and everything. And the map was in front of them, like a virtual, like a virtual map was sitting right in front of them, like Jarvis in Iron Man when he has like the schematics in front of him, he can just drag the screens around. It was like that, but the F1 race, so you see the entire track, just the cars moving. Imagine you, Antoine, and Galvin playing Mario Kart, and I'm watching the stream with my Apple Vision headset, so I see y'all on the track and whose car is who, and then I can get behind the wheel and see what y'all doing. Like, the possibilities are endless, bro, when the software grows and the hardware does alongside it.
Yeah. Definitely.
We limit it to our imagination at this point because now we here.
I think it's just, right now, I would like to see in the next 5 or 10 years when like you said, when the technology and the hardware and everything starts matching up, who's going to invest and what's going to be and what comes out of the investment. Like we just listed the possibilities for clothing stores, but which clothing stores are going to invest? And is that going to be the idea, or are they going to take it a step further?
Right. I could see any industry doing it, but it's like you got to see who's going to bite. I see Meta biting. I see Google biting only because Google is an advertisement company. Before any of y'all, Google is an advertisement company even before it's a tech company. Do your research. I know Google's going to bite. I'm pretty confident Microsoft's going to bite. They already got their HoloLens. I ain't seen no new iterations created. Tesla. What happens? Forget picking up your package from Amazon and Walmart and getting it to go. These new smart cars that are hitting the roads, where what happens when you can connect your Apple Vision Pro, drive it alongside the AI, you're not even in the car, and you got store pickup. The Walmart man coming. The Walmart you got an empty car, pop the trunk, and the Walmart man puts your packages in the trunk, bro. Come on, bro.
Where you're going. I see where you're going with this.
You picking up the kids while you at work in your Tesla, but you really at work with your headset on because you got to be there late.
When I say we're not ready for that, we're not. It sounds cool. I'm not saying like, oh man, we shouldn't do that. I just feel like we're not ready for that. We're there.
We're already there.
I understand that we're there. But I think we talked about this a long time ago when it's switching people's mindset. It's switching people's mindset because Because I feel like with the driving situation, it's so much that goes down. It's so much that goes down with driving with people being in the car. And now you telling me ain't nobody in the car?
Cause look at it, bro. Look at it. I'm like when we was talking about Uber buying drones and everybody and Amazon shipping stuff. They do that now in Dallas. They're doing that now. There's a website where I can go. They advertise on YouTube. I can have drones shipping me stuff. But we got smart cars. What's the hybrid with smart cars, autopiloting and doing everything on their own versus people driving them? Oh, I know a good in between. High-tech VR headsets that can connect to a network where the driver is kind of virtually in the car guiding it alongside the AI, picking up their kids. They connected to the phone, the speaker system. Hey, y'all, I'm running late. I'm picking y'all up. I'm going to stop by Walmart, even though I'm at work, because I'm doing some accounting or something. You're an accountant. You still doing budgets.
Child neglect up 3 points.
Oh, yeah, it's going up by 300%. Kids ain't never seen their parents because they work in 15-hour shifts.
but they picked me up in the Apple Vision Pro car.
Look, bro, think about it, bro. You in the office.
We finna be like Shuri on that scene on Black Panther where she was sitting in the lab and she was like, put this on top of the car and I got you.
That's exactly what it's going to be, bro. And we already there. Like, we got to look at how the dots connect. The software's coming for the gaming. Amazon already got stuff that allows you to bring products into space. We got smart driving cars and autopilot already evolving. All of this is already here. It's just got to get connected. These big corporations already communicate and trade anyway. Bro, we there.
We there. I would like to see how it evolves. Like we said before, they doing the fun stuff now. But what happens when we get into transportation? What happens when we get into these other industries? I am curious to see how it evolves. Who buys in, who's invests, and what comes out of it.
Look at a company like Uber for all the investors out there. Uber been in the red for years. I think they still don't really get much money back. But you learn when it comes to like companies, they probably, even though they're in the red for running, they probably still would lose. They would lose more money if they shut down when they got to pay off their debts, their resources, and all that good stuff. So that's why some companies, even when they suck, they still run. Uber's just waiting for smart assistants to and autopilot in cars to be accepted on a national basis. Because they're going to get rid of the drivers. They're going to have this AI. You're going to put on your virtual headset, and you're going to be able to see your virtual driver in the car. And you can have a whole conversation with them.
I would like to see. I'm interested. I would like to see what comes out of it.
Stay in shape so we don't be like them folks in Wall-E.
And they fucked up the planet, got on the spaceship, and they still not doing shit. Still lazy. Still lazy as hell. And I was just like, y'all just finna go to another planet and do the same thing.
That's what we talking about, bro. That's my only fear. My only fears from this technology, if we was to talk about the bad sides,
is that ain't nobody gonna get up to do nothing. Ain't nobody gonna get up to do nothing.
We're physically going to be weaker and unhealthy. And then also mentally, we're going to be weaker because they're already talking about iPad babies, how antisocial people are, anxiety and all that's on the rise because people don't have those human interactions. That's where I hope that we have like some regulations or things that allow for us to be more social. Like we're podcasting right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can as much as y'all focus on the games, can y'all make sure that me and Fook can go to a lobby and in person, even if we don't see each other physically like in real life, can we see each other online and still do something and socialize?
And this is gonna be my last thing before we shut down. I wonder, like, what fitness companies will buy into this, and the only one I can think of is Peloton.
Because they already do that thing where you can run and it's like you can see like a field in front of you and all that on the expensive ones, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I would hope that even with these headsets coming out, people still find ways to be active. Like if Peloton was to buy into this and some of the activities that they have, like if I have my Apple Vision Pro on, but I'm on my Peloton bike, but the exercise makes it look like I'm on a trail. We biking up some mountains or something like that. Then I could no, I'm still being active. I'm still doing my Peloton, but it's just that what I'm seeing is more interactive and maybe a bit more motivating than me just sitting on this bike in my house looking at the screen.
Mm-hmm. I know we gotta close. I'm gonna give you a philosophical question that I saw on X. If AI and VR got so great to where it could trick the senses to where when you put it on, you're actually at the Grand Canyon. You feel the wind, the heat on your skin, you see the canyons, you hear the sound of birds, the lizards in the sand, and you take that helmet off in your back in reality and you're at your house. Would you still spend money to go see the Grand Canyon in real life?
That's a good question. I think it would depend on personal preference at that point. If it's my personal preference, like being there, like in person, like I think this is what I want to say. I think it depends on whether or not you want to take the journey. If I'm not the type, if I don't want to ride in the car for hours, I don't want to book a plane trip. Like I just want to see the Grand Canyon and call it a day. Put on the headset. I see everything, take it off, I go to bed. I went to the Grand Canyon. But if I'm that type that enjoys the journey of getting there, then I might. Cause it's kind of like the same thing with, cause I watch roller coaster videos on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and like when we went to Orlando, like I watched all the rides we've been on. I've already seen them. I know when it twists this way. I know when we drop this way. I know it does the little loopy loop right here. But like actually experience it, waiting in the line, getting to Orlando, putting on the strap thing. I think I found that more enjoyable than just watching it on the screen.
I would agree. I would prefer to get the real experiences. But for the folks whose preference is like, the Grand Canyon 7 hours, what happens when 7 hours becomes 3 or 2 or 1 or a 20-minute drive?
I
Yeah.
think I would find it more convincing if, say, I've already made the journey to the Grand Canyon, and the Grand Canyon is just my place of serene peace, and every time I want to calm myself down mentally, I think about myself at the Grand Canyon. Now, if I had this Apple Vision Pro, Ryan done pissed me off for the third day in a row. I don't have the resources to drive myself to the Grand Canyon right now. So let me put on my headset and just virtually enjoy me being in the Grand Canyon, and I didn't even have to move or buy anything.
It's an interesting concept. For me, I like that because that's me with the Yosemite Mountains. If I could put on a headset that tricks my senses at least 80% of the way, I would love to sit on a mountain next to a waterfall. I would love that.
Yeah. I would say that when that technology comes out, I think, and like I said, it depends on personal preference. I would suggest to everybody to get the personal experience first and then just play around with the VR.
I just feel for the younger generations. We millennials, we grew up with technology. Gen Z, y'all grew up on technology, but these, like I think Gen Alpha, they're being taught and led by the technology.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how's it going to affect them when they're grown and this technology has evolved to this point and they're on it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They forget going to history class and reading a book. They're like, they're sitting in class with headsets watching history transpire.
They in the middle of World War II.
Look, the clean version though. They're gonna filter it. They're gonna have like the blurry screens
You
on it and be like,
gotta take AP history for that.
look, your parents got to sign off for you to get the real stuff.
Man,
but it's crazy, bro. Like limitless potential.
true. But who's the true audience? Now, he said they're trying to appeal to OG fans and people that watch Game of Thrones, but we've already debunked that statement because it's kind of,
we are Game of Thrones fans, and what are we talking about?
So I don't know